We're going to be doing a rear brake job on this Tesla Model 3. So we're going to start off inside the car. We're going to hit the car icon here. We're going to go to software, push and hold where it says model for about 5 seconds, let go. Type in the word service and hit OK. And you'll get this information here saying, hey, make sure you know what you're doing. Accept your responsibility, hit enter. Now that we're in here, we're going to go ahead and we need to unlock this gateway. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and hold the turn signal up, push and hold the brake pedal with the key, and you'll start to see it saying unlocking down here. After 10 or so seconds, it'll say unlocked. So now we go to chassis, brakes, and then we have EPB service mode. So we're going to click on EPB service mode. Now I'm just doing the right side now, so I'm going to go here and click right and hit start. And that's going to loosen or retract the parking brake on the right hand side. You could do both at the same time, but you want to make sure you have the car blocked so it doesn't roll. I'm going to push the brake pedal and hit run. Please. You'll hear the calipers retracting. All right, once they're done, we can go ahead and release the brake. Now, if you're doing two or both sides at the same time, make sure it's secure so it doesn't roll. Now we go ahead and go outside the car. Now we're here at the wheel. We need to go ahead and remove the aero cover. Depending on what kind of wheels you have, this will change. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to grab, I'm going to pull straight out. We'll set that off to the side. Now we need to jack the car up. Since we're just doing one side at a time, we're going to use one floor jack here. We're going to go ahead underneath the car. If you can see right there, there's a hole. That's where the jack point is. You'll see a lot of people use the jack pads. You can use that jack pad if you have them. If you've been doing this, looking at these cars for a while, you kind of know exactly where to go. You don't need the jack pad. That's actually not even a Tesla part. It's something someone else made up to use. But however you feel comfortable, go ahead and lift it up that way. So we go ahead and we start lifting this up so we get the wheel off the ground. Now, one of the first rules of working at the floor jack is you don't want to support the weight of the car just on the floor jack alone, because the seals could fail and it could fail. So here we have the AGA Tools jack rod. What this does is it goes in between the axle of the jack and the saddle. Supports the weight of the car in case it does fail. So we can go ahead, put that in there. We can release our jack a little bit. I'll lock it in place now. All the weight's going onto the jack rod there, and this is safe to work on. Now we're going to go ahead and pull off the lug nuts. They're 21 millimeter. Now that we have the wheel off, we're going to go ahead and remove the caliper. There's two 14 millimeter bolts. We're going to take the caliper, we're going to tilt it backwards, and watch out for the electric parking brake mechanism. We might pull it off, and we can just set that right up here so it's out of the way. Brake pads will slide right off. Now, this brake pad looks okay, but this pad here is missing part of it, so that's why we're replacing them. Now, in order to get the caliper bracket off here, we need to use the E18 external Torx, and there's these two bolts right back here. Hey. All right. Go ahead and set the bolt aside. We have our bracket. We're going to set this aside. We're going to come back and clean that up. Now, in the rotor, there's a 10 millimeter bolt. Now, right here, we pull it off. Set that aside. This one won't come off by hand, so it's need a little bit of persuasion. So we're going to go ahead, tap the face between the lug studs with the hammer. Do not hit the lug studs, you'll damage them. You can also hit the back side of the rotor here. But if you're trying to save the rotor, that's the way to do it. In this case, we're replacing the rotors anyways, because once we're doing a brake job, we're going to put the rotors on. Now that the brake's apart, you can see the hub here has got some rust on it. We're going to clean that rust up before we put the new stuff on. So we got this adapter here for our impact. That'll allow us to clean those off. It's got a hole in the middle. We'll go over. Yeah. Clean on the lug studs, and then we go in the middle. Now we're concerned about the face here, inside here. We're not going to get that. That's recessed.
Good.
Grab some brake cleaner, hit that with it, and clean it off. Now for rotors, I've really been loving these Power Stop Evolution coated rotors, especially if you live in a state that has salt on the road. These coated rotors will help keep them looking nice. You'll see they have this nice coating on them. They're fully dipped. This will rub away on the friction surface, and then you'll be left with this coating on there that'll last a lot longer and make it look a lot nicer. Now, before I throw the rotor on, what I'm going to do is I like to take a little bit of my brake grease, this is the Slimeric stuff. This is what Tesla recommends. And I put a little bit around the hub here. If you're going to get sticking of the rotor, this is where it's going to happen. So this is just preventative for next time. You know, if I got to do this again, it should be a little easier to get that rotor off. This will make it a lot easier to pull it apart the next time. You don't have to do this. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the rotor out because my hands are dirty. I want to touch it. So but I'm going to touch the hat. Now there's a bunch of holes on here to line up with that, so it doesn't really matter where that's at. Just remember, it's down that lower corner. We'll slide our rotor on. We'll slide our bolt in. The torque on this bolt is 5 Newton meters. So I'm going to go ahead. All right, get the torque down. And then I'll use a paint pen and I'll mark the bolt and the rotor after I torque stuff down. That verifies I did the torque. Also reminds me later on that I pull off the sticker because I don't want that hanging around. Our next step here is to clean up this caliper bracket. First thing you're going to do is we're going to pull slide pins out. We'll wipe those down and we'll re-lubricate them. Use our finger to spread it around. And make sure the dust boot goes back over the edge there so that no water, dirt, grime, all that stuff gets inside there. Same thing on this one. You don't want to overdo it on these. If you do too much, you'll hydro lock them in there. Now, we're going to get new clips on here. It comes with new hardware, so we're going to go ahead and pop these old ones out. What I'm going to do is take my grinder and my wire wheel. Clean these areas. We're going to clean those areas off so that they're nice and clean. There's no big rust buildup inside there that could cause these clips to not sit correctly. One other thing that I do is I will put some lubricant on my pinky finger here. I'll put a little dab of this stuff on all four before I put the clips back in. This puts a little bit of lubricant behind here so that rust doesn't build up from the backside underneath there. For brake pads, we're using the Power Stop Evolutions with the hardware. So we're going to go ahead and pull the hardware out and start putting that on. Make sure they're seated all the way. And then on these, you're going to have to kind of bend them a little bit down and in to make them have a nice good fit inside there, or else it's going to be kind of a pain to get the pads in place. This little tab back here, we're going to bend it back just a smidge. They bend out a little bit. Those help push the pads away from the rotor so they don't drag. So we're going to go ahead and do the rest. So I'm going to use a little pick here and just make sure I'm pushing these in the corner here to get them in place. Now we're going to go ahead and put our bracket back on with our 2 bolts. These are going to get torqued down to 83 Newton meters. We'll use the impact to run them down, and then I'll final torque them. See if our torque I'm set to 83 Newton meters. We'll go ahead and torque these down. And then we go ahead and mark those. Now we're getting ready to put the pads in. So when we're handling the brake pads, I'm going to handle it by the backing plate not touching the surface. Now there's two pads on this car. There's one that has two pins on it, and then there's one that has a single pin down at the bottom. The single pin at the bottom goes on the inside and actually lines up with this notch right here on the caliper. So I'm going to go ahead, set aside the front one, or the outside pad. I'm going to take the inside pad here. We're going to take a little bit of our grease. We're going to put a little bit of grease on the ears here. Make sure that they're lubricated correctly. This is all per Tesla's service info. I'll go ahead and slide our pad into place, which is not always easy, especially on the back side. There we go. If you have to fight them really hard or smack them to get them in, they're too tight, something's going on there. So once again, we're just touching the outside edges. A lubricant on them. Go ahead and line these up. Push those in place. Now, last thing we got to do is we got to take our brake caliper compressor tool and we're push the piston back in. Now, because we already released this electric parking brake from the touchscreen, you don't have to worry about that. Go ahead and push that back. We're going to slide our caliper in place now. Put our two 14mm headed bolts back in, and those get torqued down to 26 newton meters. We got our torque wrench to the 26 newton meters. We're going to go ahead and torque these two bolts down. They don't take a whole lot. Now, if you got any dirt and grime on the rotor face, now's a good time to take some brake cleaner, spray that off. In this case, done this enough times, very careful not to touch that type of stuff in this area. Now, the coating will get worn away when we go ahead and do the brake burnishing process, which I'll show you that here in a little bit. Once everything's all tightened down, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the wheel back on. Always start the lug nuts by hand. You don't just jam them on with the impact and cross thread them. Just run them down. You don't have to ugga them on. We're going to go through the torque wrench afterwards and torque those down. Now we got to take the jack. We need to lift it up in order to get our safety out of there.
Rotors.
And we'll let the car down. Now, before we go test drive the car, we want to go ahead and torque the wheels down to 129 foot-pounds. Make sure we go in that star pattern. We're going to take our wheel cover and find our tire fill valve. Line it up. And then pop it. Now back inside the car. In order to get this out of the service mode, we can run this again, or we just put our foot on the brake pedal, pump it up a couple, and then we're going to push the park button. Now you might get a couple of warnings here. Auto hold, emergency braking might not work. That'll clear out once we drive this car. Now the last step is to take this thing for a test drive. And when we're doing the test drive, we're going to do the brake burnishing. So if we click this brake burnishing, what this does, this actually turns off all of the regeneration on this. So you have zero motor torque and uses all the brakes just to slow the vehicle down. So what you're going to do is you're going to speed up to about 46 miles an hour. You're going to hit the brakes, and then you can actually see up here there's a pressure, kind of tell you where you want to be, how much pressure you want. You're going to slow down to almost zero. It'll beep at you, and you move on, and you do that about 10 times, and that's going to do what's called burnishing or bedding the brake pads to the new rotors and stuff. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do that here in a moment. Pump the brake pedal a couple times to make sure we have a nice firm pedal. We're going to go to service settings. We're going to remove the speed limit, or else you can't go faster than 7 miles an hour. We're going to pull this car out in the street. Then we're going to set the brake burnishing. Now we're going to pull off to the side of the road. We're going to hit park. Now we're in a residential area, so we're not going to be able to go as fast as they want us to, but we'll still get the job done here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to chassis. Now the gateway is locked, so we go to brakes. We need to unlock that gateway. So once again, we're going to push up on the turn signal and hold it with my foot on the brake pedal and the key in the car, the key card there. And it says unlocking. Now it's unlocked. We can't do anything until that gateway is unlocked. We're going to go to brake burnishing mode. We're going to hit start guided process. Now you can see here as I'm pushing the brake pedal, it's changing how much pressure there is. Target speed is about 50 miles an hour. We're not going to get that fast inside the residential area here. We're going to go ahead and put the car in drive. We're going to accelerate up to a safe speed. You know, once again, this is a residential area. Now I'm going to hit the brakes. I want to keep it in the target zone there until you come to a stop. There would normally be a cool down process here, about a 15-second timer after you complete the cycle, but obviously since we're not hitting the 46 mile an hour target speed, we're not going to get that going. So I'm just going to drive for a little. Then we can go ahead and we can accelerate and get a little straightaway here. Hit the brakes, stay in that target zone. I'm going to complete stop. We'll come up here to the stop sign and we'll keep going. So we've done 2 so far. They want 10 cycles typically.
That's good.
Once again, we're not going to be able to get that full 46 mile an hour because we're in a residential zone and I'm already going a little over the speed limit. This is something you need to be aware of. Just make sure no one's around when you're doing this. This can be done on a bigger street, bigger road. It's faster speeds. The thing you need to be aware of is making sure you can get down. You can slow down. So get in the turn lane, slow down, get back into flow of traffic and go. It's a little bit harder to do on those streets. It's a little nicer on some of those back roads. If you can find a nice industrial area, that's always the best. You can kind of get this thing done properly that way. So I kind of flirted with the red on there. Take some time to just kind of learn that. Now while you're in this mode, remember there's going to be no regenerative braking, so it's all on you to use your foot on the brake pedal to create the stopping power. All right. See if we can come up on the cul-de-sac here. We'll flip it around and we'll go back into the same thing. And then our brakes will be burnished in. We'll be good to go. Hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and smash that thumbs down twice. Show me how much you hate it, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.